video for Civ 6. So today we're going to be talking a little bit about Kongo, and let's go ahead and get started.
Mavemba Anazinga leads Kongo in Sid Meier's Civilization VI. Most of what we know of him comes to us through his correspondence with the Portuguese. Mavemba converted to Christianity, patronized religious art, built up his capital, and expanded the wealth of Kongo. The Congolese ability is called Nkisi. They get food, production, and gold from each relic, artifact, and great work of sculpture. Kongo also gets extra great artist and great merchant points each turn. The Congolese unique unit is the Ngao Mbeba. These shield bearers get extra defense versus ranged attacks, and neither woods nor rainforests slow them down nor block sight. You don't need iron to build them either. The Mbanza is Kongo's unique district. It replaces the neighborhood and can be built earlier in the game. It provides housing as well as food and gold. As a religious convert, Mvemba can't build holy sites, but he does get the founder beliefs of any religion that has established itself in the majority of his cities. He gets an apostle each time he finishes an Mbanza or theater district of that city's religion. Kongo has some unusual flexibility. It can be religious without having holy sites, and it can grow large cities in the middle of the rainforest. By establishing large mid-game cities in the rainforest or woods, Kongo can push towards any victory type. A cultural victory builds on their strengths, but with large early population, they are poised to move towards science or domination victories as well. Can you combine a convert's faith with an...
Alright, so Mbanza is quite clearly a late game Civ. Now obviously they have that swordsman at the beginning, but which is pretty decent. But assuming the stats on that swordsman are not too high, obviously they'll be decent at moving through and attacking. But I would say that most likely they'll be slightly stronger than a regular one. So as long as you survive that, after that they'll be fairly, I guess you could say, weak for a while. And they're just going to need to macro up. And they're the kind of Civ that if you enjoy sitting down and focusing on things like, where are you going to get your relics from, like making relics, expanding, building big cities. This is a nation you want, because you get to sit there, you get your housing district improvement, you may make those really big cities and just play for the late game. I'd say overall this is probably a fairly weak Civ, but the good point is they do have those early swordsmen, so this could help you a little bit, at least cover your behind in the maybe classical era at least. But after that, you're going to have to be careful if you're playing as these guys. So I'd say that most likely these guys are kind of weak. I'd say they're kind of weak just because so much of their power is tailored to winning the game later. So basically the entire game you're trying to get a victory instead of, and fighting people off and trying to stop people from killing you the entire time. So I'd say that overall they're probably a somewhat weak Civ in comparison to the others, just because of some of their bonuses. Now, obviously, this housing district will be helpful to grow big cities, but again, like, depending on exactly when you can build this, I mean, if you could build it the classical era, then I may stand corrected. But I think that they're kind of weak just because they take a while to get a. They don't have as many of these like bonuses that are really strong, like China, where they go through and they get all these wonders really quick, or other nations that have like a bunch of really good warring units early on. A lot of these nations have some really solid bonuses, and these guys do too, but they're just tailored towards the late game, and late game Civs in Civilization tend to be weaker. Because guess what? You can't win as easily till the end of the game, so it's pretty cut and dry, and in that way. I mean, think about Scythia, think about Montezuma. They could come in here and just wreck these guys, probably. So, I mean, they'll be all right, and they'll give you a little bit of a brief window of respite early on in the game. But later, you're going to have to play kind of carefully, because as people start hitting their power spikes before you, and you have to wait for yours, this will help maybe a little bit. I'm not sure how strong this is. If this is really strong, then I might stand corrected. But again, like unless I guess you're making like massive cities really early on, like I think you're just gonna have to wait and win the game later. So yeah, you're gonna have to play it safe. I'd say, and a very interesting civ. A little strange with their holy sites that they can't build their own holy sites. I think that might slow you down a certain degree as well, because I mean you're gonna have to get your faith from a different way. So yeah, everything to me says like once classical's over or ancient or whatever age they have their unit size, you're gonna have to just hold on and build just enough units to like stay alive, and then later you'll be super strong. Getting those bonuses from other religions, getting all these other great works bonuses. These guys are late game. So, yeah, that's my review of Congo. Hope you guys enjoyed. Have a great one. Bye.